There we go. That's the stupid cable that unplugged. Got that microphone. Day 12. Update that stupid thing. There we go. At least Dowski has seen the recipes. And out of the players that I know, or out of the players and devs that I know can do it, Dowski is definitely one of them. And I checked. No, the Vault Hunter recipes do not look whatsoever like the vanilla ones. So it isn't simply a, oh, they copied over Diamond Block as Vault Diamond Block or whatever. Nope. Somebody actually thought balance-wise. Which means, like, yeah, Yeah, in case you didn't know, it is currently Star Wars Day, May the 4th. Okay, none of that's extremely worthwhile. Don't want to hunt dwellers. I don't want to turn in that much chromatic iron for that small of a thing because I haven't started collecting it. Find chromatic iron block, 6 gold, 3 vault diamonds, and a pittance of experience. Wop. All right. Copper leather moss. Right. I should make another snag. Where'd that come from? It works on sugarcane. Okay, I shouldn't make another snag unless I automate the sugarcane. But given the fact, like, all I need to automate the sugarcane is 1 piston, 1 observer, which my brain always makes the observer more expensive than it needs to be. No, an observer does not need 2 quartz. It needs 1 quartz, 2 redstone, which, like, 1 for the piston. We got some planks in here someplace. Now? Just miscellaneous woods. Oak slabs. One piston worth of planks. Alright. And we're going to go with this and this to make. This is the important thing they don't tell you about. Note block. One note block. Because if you don't have a note block to register the redstone change, sometimes the piston jams. Yeah, I know technically I've got some note blocks someplace, but that requires me to dig them out. And oh no, it cost me a chest worth of wood from miscellaneous logs I have in the vault. Need this. Three, four. Sand. I'm still waiting on them to add like the sandstone into sand recipe. So I don't have to keep heading outside. Moss. How much moss was it? 13? Let's walk downstairs. This has all been harvested recently. It is clearly not grown quite as much as you might need. But this? Yeah. Alright. Still got to de-loot. Cobble. Supposed to put in 2 places. Observer. Embrace the cringe. Taste the rainbow. I overestimated the amount of moss. But I had some moss to put away anyways, so... I also have all of this to put away. Including this. Why did you have to be regular javelin? Nobody uses regular javelin because, like, either one of the ones with piercing very much matters. And nobody uses it as a single target. Because of all of the good single targets are also not ones where, like, you really get a good, what you call it? Knockback advantage against them. And that's like 90% of the point. Alright. compress all of the llama, compress all of the bennies, compress all of the llama, compress all of the bennies, compress all of the painite. Oh no, my black opal. Alright. Still need one. Black opal, Benny, Benny, Benny boys. Bop. Bop. Yeah, I don't think there's any decent recipes that actually require a fully integrated shoulders go burr. Fully integrated extraordinary black opal. I say that. And so I can't just kind of do this. Yeah, unimportant. 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 Like, I don't know. Okay, only pulls from above. Okay. My compression. What am I going to do about my compression? The rain. It's going to take up so many pixels. Now, what did I do with that? I probably put away all the sand, didn't I? Fine, we'll just grab a new batch of 4. Exciting. chests. I need 3 of them, I think, for this. I could probably get away with 2, but... eh. What is with the absolute cacophony of stuff you have there? Right, gotta mute the main screen if I'm going to be listening to it through the headphones. Otherwise, the mic picks it up like crazy, and it's like, why is there an echo? Like, nobody warned me about it, because no one else is here at the moment. Who in the world is up at this ungodly hour? Right, parents. And whatever nonsense I'm going through. Okay, I've got some 4s and I've got some 1s here. Limited barrel 2, though. Have I used up all the torches? Yes, I've crafted down everything that I had torches for. So I need to go get some redstone. Make myself some more redstone torches. Then go grab some chromatic iron and some... yeah. Hello, singular torch down there. Sticks. Sticks, 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 sticks. No more sticks. Redstone dust goes back in. don't you already have some driftwood in here? Yeah, but I need the chromatic iron no matter what. And chromatic iron I don't get from regular vaults. Because they took that out of the chest. You have to get that from the actual mining rooms. Which, like, okay, but at the same time, it was nice when you could get, like, a bit of passive from the base chests besides just the raw vaults. Brain is not braining. Driftwood. 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 Walks right past the thing that actually lets me craft this. Why limited to barrel 2? Because it's one of my compressibles. It's one of my compressibles doesn't have future compression. So, in that category, future compressibles that I really wish I would have more availability to be able to craft. Like, yes, I do in fact have a material need where 12 of these will be used. 13 of them even. Because the correct answer is that since these don't double compress, these don't double compress, these don't double compress, these don't double compress, this doesn't double compress, this you get as individual melons and have to compress into this state. That's 6 in this thing alone. Already shown dust. Let's see. Glowstone dust doesn't compress any further than base. You can technically compress flint and uncompress it. They, because of some modded recipes. Like most of these, you see them compress extra. But if we get this, something sitting here hoping, it'd be nice to have. And if else, there's like some recipes where it's like, sure. Basalt and smooth basalt can share one storage. Soul soil versus soul sand can share the same box. Or things like that. This only compresses once. If we get this recipe in, that only compresses once. Like. And, oh no, I made extra copies of one type of barrel I'm not going to use at the cost of some driftwood and some chromatic iron is like a first world problem. Especially because it's the first world mostly that gets the chance to place things like vault hunters and whatnot. So, anyways, this actually wants like a 5 high space to work in. Om nom, om nom, om nom. Sweets. Om nom. Heal. All right. Yeah. I need to get a modded solution for this later, too. Snap. I can never remember whether or not sugarcane actually needs a light source. I don't think necessarily it does. I think it just needs water, but it always looks better if you have a light source. Might be that I'm completely wrong, and it most definitely 1000% needs a light source. Oh no, my frameless glass, where did it go? It only drops if you use Silk Touch. Why are you putting glass against a stone wall? Because later on, I might actually want to have visibility for this. And I might rip out another section next to it. So, shush. Haven't you noticed most of the people who actually watch you aren't that critical of your movements? Why are you always, like, criticizing yourself? It just looks lame and, like, feels bad for all the people who think, no, you're wonderful about it. Because tons of people are super critical of themselves. They shouldn't be, but... Alright. It was this chest that had the frameless? No. This one. Oh. This one? I do not have enough light gray frameless glass. What is this world coming to? Xbox and PS5. Wait. All right. Like, there is no reason whatsoever for this stone block, but redstone component is redstone component. Fine, I'll get the ranch. No. Oh. Get your butt back out here. Okay, now I get to be mad at Quark's placement because it's supposed to be faced, so it's observing whatever surface you're pointing it at. So turning it backwards by your automatic, like, no, that's explicitly not what it's supposed to do. Vanilla technical trick. Embedded. Snide. The entire point of the snide is turbo sugarcane. Alright, I need just a bit of stone. I think. Stone. Have I compressed all of you at the moment, so I need to find you in the compressed? Yes. Help me, I'm being compressed, said the JPEG. Sorry, we're at a loss to help you. That's still set to scav. Stop giving me sugar cane. So the answer is no, I do not need to add more light at the moment. I should go lock which type is there. And because it's fully automated, not because I extremely want to do this, but because it's the smart thing. It gets a void upgrade. In theory, half the time should be daytime out here. Whether or not that happens in practice is a whole nother reason. Or a whole nother thing. Why do they call it an azure bluet if it makes gray? Like, what? Let's swim slightly further out and grab more than a small amount of sand. Alright. That doesn't look weird at all, right? Yep, I've used up all of my regular glass, so I need to go and get sand. Stick some sand through the cycle. Already put what goes in these chests away. Which, like, isn't entirely accurate to what should go in them. Wrong button. Wave my arms around like I just don't care. Yeah, that tracks. That's the rest of the stuff that's supposed to be in here. So that tells me that I can probably do this. And followed up by going like this. Continuing to go, why in the world haven't I made another deposit upgrade yet? Well, like, one, I need a core first. Two, I need to bother with the, putting these kinds of things into the core for storage. And until I do both of those, only one stack? Nah. Jungle leaves, get your butt in there. Anyways, I should finish making my, gray glass. Okay, the way I set it up, I don't need to put that in, but... Ah. I should put some type of stair there. What do I have as a spare stair? Spare stair. Time to check the purple reject boxes. Spare stairs. Standard Minecraft sandstone stairs. We're going to put it upside down. Why are you going to put it upside down? Because one important thing, as I upgrade this, I want to add upgrades. And that requires me to absolutely keep access to the top of this. And if I decide to put some blocks here so it doesn't look quite so ugly to either side, I want to be able to poke this Topside. Void overflow. You are not to. Oh, like if I make too many sugarcane bundles, that's on me. Arguably, this is one of the reasons why they've got the ability of upward facing barrel. I could drop this whole mechanism down and have the barrel just sticking upward with a stair here to access its side thing and still have an air gap here. Well, here. But that's more important if I don't know, upgrade the whole thing later. Which, speaking of upgrades, I technically have this already rolled. Limited Copper Barrel 2. Still has only one upgrade slot, but it has, let's see, Copper Barrel 2. Okay, maybe I would have to take it out and look at it. Let's see. 1024 plus 512? No. What in the world is that multiplier? Because it's split between two. Clicks on the calculator thing. 1728 divided by 64. How many stacks is that? Okay. That's an interesting choice, given the fact base barrels are 32 stacks. This is essentially two side-by-side chests of 27 stacks. That's what that is. That's 27 stacks. So it's not quite a times 2 multiplier, but it's times 2 what most people think of as a storage of that size based on Minecraft. Okay. So it's not quite double because it went from 16 to 27. So, like, gained 11. What is it? 68% increase? So almost a 70%, but not quite. And, like, not wholly unreasonable about how it did it, either. It feels just a bit strange. It's wholly logical, but in a... You've already broken conventions. Why go back to conventions here versus sticking with conventions in the first place? Okay, the grass block here was being carried by an Enderman. It's something I'll have to deal with later. At least this makes planks, so it's not completely worthless to have. Not actually changing anything. You can't change somebody else's, but you can peek. Oh, look! After so many days of quiet things, there are bots today. Go away, bots. You too. Like, no, I'm not trying. to get followers or viewers or whatever, I'm playing a mod pack. And I'm playing a mod pack on stream because it keeps me from playing it for 12 hours straight and getting cramps. Because if I'm not, like, streaming, I might go, restart happened, but I didn't feel like I was quite done yet. Let's just jump right back in, and suddenly it's 2026, and I haven't eaten since Terraria's 1.4.4 update. Alright, so Crystal Modification Protocol chest. Later on, I'll get this more sorted than this, but I don't have enough stuff to justify much more sorting than this. Working on getting time to go compress some blocks, compress some blocks, compress some blocks. Time to go compress some blocks. Because the storage is getting too full. technically the ones on the end here I could just be lazy about. It's the ones that aren't on the edge of everything that I can't just stick the upgrade in, pull the upgrade out, stick the upgrade in, pull the upgrade out, stick the upgrade in, pull the upgrade out, stick the upgrade in, pull the upgrade out. Yeah, I'm sure this will not annoy me whatsoever. Alright. That tells me I need to upgrade that one. Alright, let's see, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll make that. And I need 2 essence for the iron tier. Alright. There we go. That compressed properly. Much better. Yeah, like later on you can add stack upgrades to remultiply them after you've increased their size. So you get a little more exponential growth compared to the old just multiplier ones. Especially because the stack upgrades in these are multiplicative, I think. Yeah, because they're the sophisticated protocol as opposed to like whatever the heck was going on with yeah. Like mid-30s, and I could make 3 more compacting. Which one of these would I... Okay. These can all just get smushed down, and honestly, like, that's a 2x2, that's a 2x2, that's a 2x2. That one's a 3. That one's a 3. Because that one's a 3, I couldn't just do that one. But this one, like, I could just kind of go, okay, no, no. I'm not dealing with the expensive one. This is what an old compacting drawer always would have cost me. Honestly, I want the current ones too as well. But the problem is you can't make the compression and da-da-da all look the same. Just rotated by another 90 degrees. Or make it shaped like a piston, I don't know. That's a 2x2. This is a 2x2. Because, like, okay. Yeah, it's a 2x2. So that's a 2x2. That's a 3. That's a 3. Okay, this is a 3 and needs converted backwards. This is a 3 and doesn't need converted backwards. This is a 2. This is a 2. This is a 2 and needs converted backwards. This is a 2 that, or this is a 3 that needs converted backwards. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11 if I don't care about ever getting hey, wonder of wonders, you can and then let's see. One, two, three. Nine. Oh. And this is explicitly why I can't do the driftwood that way, because you see, there you need the base. If you don't have the base, you can't make it. So, like, you need... There we go. Take a chunk of this. Chunk of this. There we go. I am not making 16 upgrade bases right now. was it? Each base costs that amount, or yeah, each base costs that amount. I have 3 bases. I need 6 more, so 12. And I need 30. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, look. No matter what my opinions are about crashing out and just deciding maybe I don't have to play at the same difficulty through the entire time. You do have to respect some of them. Like, something. Have to pull the things out to re-update them later. Sure. You know, in case you ever wanted to get rid of the ugly little lines on the side. Locking, unlocking. Like later on, I'm going to need some tier 3s, some limited 3s to make the gems storage. Alright. Something, something. And my opinions on these might differ if it weren't for the fact like, I have to deal with these. Like, to be fair, knowledge does not need it, but the cost of the upgrade that doesn't have the convert back option. Right, these are all 2x2s. I don't need to wander over here. I can just press K. So that of course raises questions. Since I don't have like voiding or anything, if this gets full and I've got that, which like we've technically already seen because I did it with the sandy blocks. Let's see, what else? Meat, 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 meat. We need to make sure that when we compress our meat, ignore the wording on that. When you compress your meat, not in public. That just not in public. Otherwise, I have no opinions. Something, something. My opinions of what is public may include in front of people who don't want to see it and are incapable of leaving from the situation. Because of the nature of the design of the situation. or specifically the ability to leave the situation requires having to go through any kind of setup that requires them to see it. But that's like a whole nother matter, and for whatever weird purposes cause that, sometimes that's like there's some other people that need to criticize for some other things that it would be set up that way. I have an entire crystal ready and keep getting distracted. Alright. Main inventory. Anything worth keeping? Anyways, an 8% trap disarm contributes towards getting 100% trap disarm for the first tool you make trap disarm on, in theory. 5% less so. 8% yes. Like, yes, I'll get 10 relatively in short order by the time, like, I'm really even contemplating a proper 100% trap disarm. Bath salts. Okay. You see, I like the abbreviation for things, because when somebody says something that I want to thank them for, I too make a loud, disturbing noise. I'm Jerry, or I'm bad with pronunciation or whatever. But I see that you said hello in chat. I don't know how long ago that was, because apparently I don't have timestamps on. I got distracted. Bottles. I came here for the bottles. Because the bottles let me do this! Which is like... picks up the pickaxe. And like I could simplify my workflow with the fix up the pickaxe by like primary running the Silk Touch one here. and then just like fortuning all the ores when I bring them out of the vault. And honestly, probably actually do want to do that. Because that lets me go, okay, I want the stone ones. I want to make sure I grab an echo at some point for the wall of... Oh, yeah. That's what I will use a bunch of 2s on anyways. Scav? Why is it a scav? Because you set it to scav. Load settings scav. Then we go in and we deload this, we deload this, we deload this, and we deload this. I still hate, like, jar is the absolute worst to see to remove from a scav pouch. And, like, this is not a problem other people have, because other people aren't running their scavs by forcing all the things into the main inventory instead of leaving them in the scav pouch and like pulling them out. Because other people don't use the same workflow I'm using. By the very fact that I have to install a defunct remove from the pack mod just to do the same thing I used to, because I made my workflow dependent on it. Next week I'm going to start programming in COBOL. Now, I'm early enough in this vault. Do I do the stupid thing? Monk. Because I absolutely can just do the stupid thing. Couple of bone. Is this one of the ones that has even a single barrel where I can manage to get to it without pillagers? No. In case you couldn't tell, I'm on Piece of Cake. So this is only hard Piece of Cake, which is like normal-ish for damage. Given the fact that normal dungeon mobs are still like 1 tier above base anyways. Everyone loves Fear Cloud. It makes it so easy to make sure you've cleared out all your mobs, right? Honestly, I wish, like, Fear came with, like... something that goes, well, they're scared of me and running away. They start dying, too, just a little bit. Not even a lot. So if I accidentally fear, like, a high level, or like I fear a crab or whatever on like the second to last hit or something like that, I may or may not be operating on nephew play difficulty brain-wise too today. Are you having a nephew day? I miss when there were like barrels in the bookshelves. I don't know if there's actually secretly like spaces behind these bookshelves that they're hiding in. But I don't think there are anymore. Which, like... You're supposed to spawn in front of me, sir. Yeah, that's what I want. I want a champ that's scared of me, so it's really hard to hit because they're turbo speed. Wasn't there supposed to be an altar in one of these days? Anyways, I may or may not have already doomed to this vault. But value inside the crate is easily displaced by the amount of value from the barrels I harvested. Plus, it's on casual mode, so, like, what am I losing? Okay, I'm losing the experience. Being stuck at level 34 for another vault might be a bit annoying. What was the... I'm supposed to harvest living anyways, which... Terbium, Sparkle Tea, Peats. Anyways, that was absolute cope on the Terbium there, which is nice. Yeah, wish, but skeleton, what you call it? Oh, no. Wait. Poison 3 is not scaled for cake, not scaled for cake, not scaled for cake. Like, these guys, if they manage to poison me, it's reasonable. Swampy's poison does not properly scale based on tier. I think in seeking to vindicate this vault and actually do what I'm supposed to, I'm going to move on, having not cleared that room of all of its tasty ore spots. One red scrollers. Helps that I've got 19 thorns despite this being a block shield. There was... Like, this is such a good secret, but I can never remember how to get in there that isn't just the rip a hole in the side. There it is. Honestly, the rip the hole through the side is probably the better option in, like, every case. You too, chicken. Scroller's done. Jar's done. Not a single blood vial. Let's see. That was 3 of those, 3 of those, 3 of those. No more coins? 4 of those. Like, it's not needed for the balance, but I'm going to continue to say. Can the compression, uncompression block work on the honeycomb, please and thanks? Absolutely not balanced. But wishless things don't need to be balanced. They just need to be something you want. Because that's the point of them being wishlist. Is there something you want? Not something the game necessarily needs, but something you want. There's coins over there. At least there should be if spotted that right. Living? Nope. I did not spot that right. Oh well. Let's console myself with some shopping. Don't you hate when the store has nothing you want? What? I always thought that was the backpack wallet. What did they stick that under? Do you get it, like, the first time you craft a big backpack? At which point I have to ask, how did the level... How would the low-level player have gotten that many echo this early? That's absolutely not a great value for that, but... Remember, Stonefall prevents damage, but healing does it retroactively. If I don't make any, the guy up there... Okay. The spawns are supposedly fixed. The spawns are supposedly fixed. The spawns are supposedly fixed. He's just being an idiot. I don't want to deal with Vexes, but I need the coin piles. Though, to be fair, the reason I don't want to deal with Vexes is because they do have the chance of soft locking this whole thing if one of them ends up outside. Gilded. Everything's turning up Millhouse. Like, I got 10 minutes left and the vault's effectively complete. I say effectively, but if I do something stupid. Hopefully, if I do something stupid, it's also profitable at the same time. Alright. Like, I'm glad they opened it up a little bit. I still am slightly annoyed by exactly how everything's distributed. Anyways, I'm not going to complain about anything that lets me have, like, 20 vault diamonds to potentially use later. It might be that they've improved the drop rate of vault diamonds, so, like, the full vault diamond blocks isn't quite as disgusting of a cost. But I don't think they've increased it enough that it should be 2, maybe 1. You're supposed to be dead too. Hoopa! Alright. Ooh, a lucky hit! What'd you get out of it? Plus 10% damage, because I not spec'd anything on my lucky hits. Yet. Because I don't have enough that I can really say that it's going to be worthwhile for me to spend those points on that, while I still don't have dash and heal up to 8. Slowly, slowly, I'm gathering all the terracotta I'll need for the entire season. Okay. Get your stupid butt down here. You can figure out how to get to me. To save on some effort, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Like, I haven't unlocked anything else. I'll get dungeon doors soon, which will be nice. Vendors. We could potentially get vendors by the end of this vault. If I keep my eyes open and were to, like, just keep moving. Or I can go, hey, wooden has mod boxes. Let's see if I can get my butt some more mod boxes. Because I still haven't rolled a 64K disc yet. Some, I wish the pickup notifier was more than 5 lines. So, like, I could have actually read. This is a coin secret, right? Because I'm fairly certain this room is the coin secret. Wooden. I will take a high-density wooden. Hope they haven't actually swapped these for decorative ones yet. I think they're standards. Okay, the turn-in is going to be there. Would capstones ever be added to resource cards? Something like so many horde mobs, like an absolute ridiculous amount of horde mobs, like up there parallel to the Starfruit cards. Gets you, like, avarice. That's snow, not dramatic. Because any other chromatic in here? No? Okay. Not mailbox. Postbox. Fine, fine. I'll deliver it the old-fashioned way. By using the magical warp to spawn. To then use the waystone to go to her manor directly. Nah! And I swear that's like the pixels are slightly deferred thing. Yeah, because let's see. Village. And spawn. Anyways, what's one of the most passive-aggressive things I could do? Take one of the anvils. I've got 50 levels, so this isn't going to cost anything. Because that's the right way to engage with this, right? Anyways, yeah, like, this is looking nice. Okay, decide not to go with full double thick there. I'm not going to criticize like that. That's a good use of it. Bop. Yeah, that's about my DPS. Like, I get some of the decorations, but at the same time, sometimes I don't. Tiny atrium. Anyways, I have technically finished dropping off my nonsense. So at that point, I can work on more nonsense. Okay. First things first. If I'm going to silk touch these, I want to break them down. But that means that I also need first to make some drawers. We don't make the 16 anymore. We make 15. So I don't have all of them yet, but I don't have, like, all the available wood, all the available gems anyways. One, two, three. That's not on the Vault Hunter's Discord. That's not the Vault Hunter's fault. That's Pepperfly making choices. Whether or not 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Larimar, Benny, Paynite. Some people might disagree about whether or not it's Paynite up here or what, but okay. Vaultstone, stone, Vaultstone, stone, Vaultstone, Vaultstone. Sparkle on. No. Sparkle on. Be gorgeous. I believe it's Pete in the middle. Yep. And Tubby into this side. So Tubby Pete's. Tubby. Alex. Which means, specifically, a couple. And did I have any more ores? I think I had one more in the stone over here. Yeah. Stone Iskallia. To go alongside gorgeous. Gorgeous. Then we go 12 of this, I think. Limited barrel to, yep. There's not a way to just start pink. You have to make pink after the fact. As he's doing. Okay, yeah, I could dye it pink. I absolutely could dye those pink. Probably will, actually. But that was not what I was working on at that exact moment. Right, it should be like one more back, and it should be like a sticky piston with a slab on it. Because it can manage to push the resulting item into the glass block here. Which, like, if I put glass here, wouldn't actually be kicking any of it out here. So, like, technically this is currently lossy. Which, like, from the purposes of a, good server etiquette. Pog. Oop, and then ashes on this side. Not that I expect almost any of the fill level stuff to matter. And I have no reason to hide that I have these locks so that they don't accidentally get assigned the wrong thing. Alright. Mod boxes. Step 1. Open the mod boxes in such a way that they simply end up in your storage instead of like someplace useful. Disk drive. Like, that's a very important piece. But I don't have power unlocked anyways, so you get to live next to the rest of the stuff. Like, wait. How would I have 5 unspent skill points? 5, 10, 11, 15, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Ten. 14. 15, 25, 32. $15, 18, 28, 32, 32. Like, okay. Like, I thought I had spent my skill points. I haven't regretted anything. That's still bound, that's still bound, that's still bound, that's still bound. And I don't have anything anywhere else. Have I just not been spending my points? I was like, what? How do I have 5 points? Okay. Option, expertise, bounties. Make shopping cheaper later, but I want a faster turnaround on the bounties if I'm going to be playing in quick bursts and then being done for the day. Yeah, this is why I need the conversion upgrade instead of just the compacting one that I've shoved in them. Because you can't match if it eliminates everything from the slot. But when you're dealing with the conversion, you never eliminate everything from the slot because the converted ones are still there. So, like, why didn't these get put away? It's because there wasn't any left over in their respective chests. So you have to come in here and you have to manually try and re-add them. And if they're going to recompact immediately, like this one's going to, next time you come by, you have to come in and manually add it again. Okay, yes, I could set it to not go based on whether or not there's the thing in the chest, but that only works well if I have all of this locked, and then if I do something like point it at the controller, which any stone, any repeaters. Seven. Planks. Purple terracotta, spruce boards. Spruce boards, I don't think it's going to work. Like, if spruce boards let me go like this and make sticks, I would love it. But it doesn't, so it gets to go back in this bag, and I will figure out if it has a nonsense slot already. Because if it already has a nonsense slot, I don't have to worry about it. As much. Just needs planks? Yep, just needs planks. All right. Anyone lurking? No one lurking. At least not as far as my system can tell. So that's 8 echo, 8 pogs, plus another 4 pogs. So 12 pogs, 8 echo, a not quite completely negligible amount of black opal. But a relatively, compared to the rest of it, negligible amount. Sticks. Compressibles. Now we've got the storage controller. Do we have a storage I/O? I swear, the Gorgonite seems to be a different shade nowadays in this pack. So, like... Might always have been that, but the shader settings might have gotten warped. And honestly, I should probably, like, go back to my previous instance of VH3 and just, right. They got redrawn recently, didn't they? Those are new sprites. I am not going completely insane. Like, some of them are not. Pizza Night's still the same. Tubium, I think, got more pulsing on his cloverleaf design there. The stone ones, which you can only get from Painting Room, I'm going to collect. I'm not a major fan of some of the animations on the animated textures of the 4 blocks now. Yeah, there we go. Look, this is how you make it sustainable, one vault to the next. Books. There's your Silk Touch, all mended up. There's your Fortune, as good as new. There's a absolutely ridiculous amount of gemstones getting shoved into the wrong slots because this is not an auto-compacting setup. Because honestly, I don't actually want it to. Because I would want the converting. But I don't want to pay the current off-balance conversion costs. Blah, 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 blah. Bap. Alright, then this goes in here. The 6 steel is worth that amount. Like, I haven't even opened this yet. Obviously, I should. That's Pog. Always good to see a Pog. Oops, all Kiwis, though. Like, they're not bad for flavor in theory. But... could I trouble you for some mangoes? Yes, you could, because right now, mangoes aren't in the loot pool below 50. Alright. In theory, I should give books their storage barrel at some point. Reload skiff. Right. Seal the deposit. And put it into my bank account. Wait, no. Alright. Nonsense away. Bones. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Organics, vault stuff. That's still one of the funniest little things is that we're trying to put it in, it goes and like forces a check against like the first upgrade and sees if it can swap with it, which means it throws a stack upgrade error. If that would reduce the number of stack upgrades. It doesn't actually do anything with it, but alright. Moss goes in the moss box. Peonies. And later on, I'll store more peonies. Eventually, I'll also put up crates for those and other things. Now, what in the world was that recipe again? Heckin' sleepy. Yeah. I need to increase the storage. Well, why don't you just make stack upgrades? Double those shulker boxes by converting them into sophisticated ones. Carrots dies, bath salts, we're on copper. Copper. And then it was 57, which is this minus 6. You need to make more limited 2 barrels. Start sticking the things in the limited 2 barrels. You'll get the converters eventually, right? Yeah, eventually I'll bite the bullet. Stuck sticks somewhere here, right? Do. 10, 5. Limited barrels 2. The less exciting sequel. All right, Madbox. Do your thing. By do your thing, I mean... yeah, this is fine. One, two. $20. Two. Stage 1. Stage 1. Because it's not a compression. This should be 2 double barrels worth, or 2 double chests worth, 1 for each one. Yep. Which allows us to go. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Then we go. Regret our life choices about exactly where we put it in the future. All right. Before we go and grab carrots and crates and whatnot. Let's throw out that. Then we go over here, and it's crate of carrots. Beetroot crate, carrot crate, potato crate, wheat. Let's actually finish grabbing the wheat. Apples have already started getting crated in here. Raw chromatic iron that I still need to deal with. What do you mean I don't have enough bath salts? Who made that stupid decision? Alright. Time to fly into the nether looking for bath salts. I'm sure I'm not going to accidentally burn myself or anything. Like it's coming along. Certainly coming along. Bath salt delta. Where's the bath salt delta? Bath Salt Delta. I love how they're still listed as assassins on the hit point bar in the overworld. Sideways logs. Ah, because they stick out of the side of those like flowers. Like the leaves at the bottom of like flowers. Get over here, small child. Now, have I made a regrettable decision about distance for visibility of entrances? Bonk. That's where I'm heading. How many times can I take damage in 14 seconds? Very different priorities for what to keep and what not to keep. But then again, like, if you haven't really done anything with the pickaxe yet, you can definitely throw those at a early chest breaker and just kind of get, like, a little bit of bonus, but for a lot longer by doing it early. Alright. Yep. Nonsense goes there. I do that as though I've got the deposit upgrade in there at the moment anyways. Yeah, that tracks. Mm-hmm. Alright. What about Dash 8 is active. Oh, how I've missed you. What's the nonsense look like? Kipple. Scrap. Scrap. Kipple. Kipple. Scrap. Shouldn't, but in you go. Get some sorting done later. Low roll on the base damage. Technically, I've got fundies and things like that, but I'm going to outclass almost anything I swap to in the next little bit. And none of these had strength worth competing. With the one I already am using. OP magnet. Improve pickup range. No matter what. So we're going to immediately go over here and waste all of its potential, right? Recycle, recycle. Recycle. All right. They all go in 2 by 2. Hurrah, hurrah. How much inconvenience do you need before you actually bother to make the second deposit? Look, once I hit 9 echoes and can make the controller, then we can contemplate. If I don't start the vault in the next, like, 10 minutes, it'll be too late to properly run a vault again. But at the same time, there's nothing that says that I have to run another vault today. Or even that it has to be the one that uses this crystal as opposed to, like, whatever this nonsense ends up being. Cactus? Doesn't work well to break all of it, Bob. How much cactus? Cactus. How much cactus? 17 cactus. How much cactus? 25 cactus. How much cactus? 5 cactus to go. You go work on that goopy magnet. I'm waiting on cactus. What the heck? You've been sitting undisturbed on my desk for like 4 hours at least? How are you still shaken up enough that you can spill? Like, I didn't even move you from the table to open you. I just pulled the tab. Now I got a puddle. And no napkins in here. It's shy. We just need to give it a moment. I'll figure it out. Don't like full speed. Let's see. Oh. I think I might prefer some of those numbers to be higher, but more copious, slightly less item quantity. Rarity gets me more mod boxes. I will take a nearly perfect rarity on that. Especially because, like, I don't exactly have... Like, it's not exactly living or anything. It's not leveling up with me, unlike my bats. These are really fun bats. In theory, I could re-roll the implicits at this point. Wouldn't even lose me too terribly much. Because all I need is to get it to hit. Okay, fine. It will give me armor instead of it. It'll give me armor and mana instead of AP. Because I don't have enough to... Or I don't have the ability to reset the potential yet. Because, what is it? Opportunistic. Only starts showing up in barrels. It shows up in barrels sometime, but they never added dungeon barrels, did they? Not to the ones you could see. Such scrap. Very resource. Pick up only. Get this. Not that it matters much in vanilla, but is it only the bottom block that gets ticked? Only the topmost block? Is it the sand getting ticked? If it's any block of the cactus, that means that once a cactus is 2, it becomes 3 much, much easier. But I think it's only if the one directly below it gets ticked. The very topmost one at the time. Come on, one more. One more. Sugarcane back there is being absolutely turbo about it. I thought Snad was supposed to reduce your waiting. It does. If you set up a farm so it's auto-collecting, you would have tons more than you have right now. But you had this strange notion of manually harvesting all the cactus. One batch at a time. Which means the Snad is really not doing anything. But I don't want to go through the effort of sticking like a single fence post next to a cactus on top of Snad with a water stream and a single hopper leading into a barrel. That seems far too reasonable? Yes, that's the one. It's far too reasonable to be sensible. You're saying it's not sensible? No, I'm saying... Yeah, like... You know what I mean, right? Have I moved all my glowstone over? I should have some dead rabbit here, right? Nope, that's raw iron. Dead rabbit. Dead rabbit. 9 dead rabbit. I only need 5 dead rabbit. One glowstone. And a bunch of cobble. Cobble, 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 cobble. Whop. Whop. It was, what, 17? 17 cobble? No. 18 cobble. Wasn't even standing on it primarily. I was clipping it. Barely. Okay. Mailbox. Mailboxes. Look, I need some kind of noise in my room to sleep. Okay, I don't, but it makes it easier. Something, something. Living underneath the floor of a room with an oxygen concentrator for most of your childhood kind of means like you want some mechanical noise, because when there isn't mechanical noise, yeah. Anyways, that's a wrap. Oh. Too late to do a vote. And I've been playing since like 7 something. And it's almost 11. So that's enough of vaulting for today. I'll do other things next. Not that you'll see them, because I'm just currently streaming Vault Hunters. But I'll catch you next time. Bye.